Hello, I'm Lady Liberty, and the show for today is Let's Sue Big Tech for Deplatforming and Censoring Freedom of Speech. DeSantas is a governor of Florida, and he has a law in Florida now that if you deplatform somebody for because you don't like their opinion, which Big Tech is doing, like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, if you do that, you're going to get sued $250,000 a day. So that'll give Big Tech something to think about if they want to take away our rights to free speech, which is our First Amendment right under the Constitution. And their claims that they're a private entity and a private business and they can make their own rules, that's going out the window because they concluded with the government. So they were working with the government. They had a porthole set up with the government that if these government people, let's just say, give an example, Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, didn't like what they were saying about her, she could have that taken down. She could have it removed. And, that's just not fair because we have a right to the truth, and we know that the MSM, the mainstream media, is not covering it. They're pretty much telling the people propaganda on the mainstream media. It's not even worth watching. And the more people that shut them down, the more people that do not watch them, the more that they're going to lose people to watch that. And they'll shut it down themselves because it'll go out of business. So that's what we need to do as Americans. We need to do everything that we can to shut down the propaganda. And the first thing that you do when there's a takeover of a country, let's say Venezuela, for example, and you can look this up on the internet, the first thing that they'll do to take the government down and to put the corrupt government in is they'll start propaganda over the TV and the radio stations, and they'll tell the people lies so that they get the people to believe this to go along with them. It's psychological warfare. That's what they're doing right now in America. That's what they've been doing. That's why Trump has always said, it's fake news, it's fake news. People, Trump was right. It is. Trump was right. Whether you like him or not, Trump was right. So anyway, there's a lot of things that go along with this that I was thinking about with DeSantis law now. So when it comes to what's going on with the audits and stuff, which are going on all over the country, they can't shut them down. They're not going to be able to shut it down. Because let's say, for an example, we have Nick Cedar lives in Florida. He's a YouTuber, has a YouTube channel. CanCon also has a YouTube channel. Those are two people that live in Florida. So if the rest of us are going to get shut down, Nick and Brian with his CanCon channel are going to get the truth out. It's still going to get out, and it's still going to spread, and it's still going to be shared with people. So the truth is coming, guys. More and more people are waking up to that. Now, an interesting thing that DeSantis was talking about is that Ayatollah Khomeini, he can brag about killing Jews. He can brag on Big Tech about killing Jews, like on Twitter or Facebook. He can brag about this, but yet the President of the United States is banned from Twitter. Now, I have an interesting question, and I think we'll just have to wait to see what happens here. But President Trump is a resident of Florida. Therefore, when Twitter ruled that he was banned forever, for good, I wonder how long that's going to last now. I'm pretty sure since this, law was signed, that Trump can start suing $250,000 a day from that point forward, which was 4 days ago it was signed in. So is Trump going to be back on Twitter or isn't he? And I'm pretty sure if he's not, then there's going to be a lawsuit. Or maybe Trump doesn't want to get on Twitter. I don't know, but this is an interesting question that I thought that I would raise. So for example, for you guys that don't understand all this, I'm going to give you some examples. So for an example, a woman in Florida who had a florist shop, she went to a Trump rally and she took videos with her phone of the Trump rally. Well, she put it on her site. And then so Big Tech doesn't like that. Facebook doesn't like that. So they shut her down. Well, what they also did was they shut down her business. So this is what they're doing to people because they're sharing what they want to share. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't hurt anybody. Footage of Trump rallies don't hurt nobody. They're just suppressing how good it was, how many people was there. They don't want the truth out. And they influence an election. And that's against the law too. So what big tech was doing was influencing an election as well. So you take this woman's page away, that she uses to help benefit her business and to get more business. You're taking food off the table. People rely on this now, and ever since they decided to get political, why does Facebook have to get political or Twitter have to get political? Why don't they just stay out of it? They were supposedly a free speech platform, which is like a joke because they're not. I'm in Facebook jail all the time and actually have a business page that I can't run, because of what, Facebook is doing. And then, so there was Dr. Shiva, and he is in Massachusetts. He was running in the primary for a Senate seat in Massachusetts. Well, what they did was he had 20,000 followers, and it looked like he was going to win that seat. And Twitter took away his account. They banned him, and that's like the way that people now are getting the word out on social media. So it just doesn't seem fair to me. Another thing that I know that Twitter was doing and Facebook is these people coming in illegally over the border. Well, they're advertising how to do it on Facebook and on Twitter. They're advertising, telling the people in these foreign countries that are coming here illegally how to do it, how to get here, how to hook up with the drug cartel to get your way into America. And that's okay. That's okay with Facebook. That's okay with Twitter. That's okay with YouTube. All that's okay. But it's not okay for the President of the United States to be on Twitter. I mean, people, this is our First Amendment rights, our freedom of speech. And I will advocate for that forever. That nobody should have the right to do that in America. Because once that starts, if we lose our Constitution, we lose it all. We become a socialist, communist country. So if that wakes some people up out there, which I hope it does, we've all got to have our voice and be able to say what we need to say. So there's a few other things that I wanted to go over here. So we'll see if Trump gets back on. That's a big question I have. If Trump gets back on Twitter, I mean, if people advertising killing people can be on there, like I told community with the Jews, obviously we know Trump should be allowed. So there's a lot going on with the 2020 selection that we know was not legit, or if you don't know it's legit, not legit, that's the truth. It wasn't legit. There's so much news coming out on that. They're trying to suppress, big tech is trying to suppress that from getting out. So we'll see how far it goes. Right now, I guess I heard a little bit of a news clip that big tech is trying to stop DeSantas. So will this go to the Supreme Court? We don't know. I hope the Supreme Court does the right thing and rules that we can have our freedom of speech on social media platforms. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is Frank Speech. It's frank.com. You can sign up there to get on Frank Speech. Mike Lindell does not have a social media platform set up yet, but you can get tons of information on there about what's going on with the 2020 selection. We got to use code words, too, because of Twitter. I don't live in Florida, so I don't get the liberties that the people do there, that they don't have to worry about saying certain words. Or I guess maybe they do. But, the Floridians are going to be free. They're not going to have to worry about getting their business pages shut down. And I think DeSantis is leading, He's leading. He's done a lot of things in that state. People are moving to Florida in droves. Like, the housing market is like crazy. I mean, it just is exploding out there. People wanting to be free, so they're heading out to Florida. But, in the description box below, I'm going to put Nick Moseder and CanCon's channel link in there for you guys to get the updates on what's going on with the 2020 selection, because I want to make sure that everybody Everybody gets to hear about the truth that's going on. And they are connected with some big people. Like, they're connected with, like, Mike Lindell. They're connected with Patrick Kohlberg in Michigan, Matt DePerno in Michigan. Bill Bailey is the one that brought the case forward with attorney Matt DePerno. So in Sidney Powell, Patrick Byrne. I mean, they're connected with some big people. This is what our news is today. This is what it is. These guys are reporters, and they're bringing the truth about what's going on. So I would encourage you guys to subscribe to their channel, and as well as mine. And I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and God bless America.